And welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This Friday lunchtime video is a wee scouting profile video of a player that Celtic are said to have put in a 6.9 million bid for. The bid was rejected. So in this video, what we're going to do is have a wee look at the stats and ratings and biography for the player, Louis Munteanu of CFR Cluj in Romania. We've also got a wee 5-minute package of edited highlights of his goals and passes and assists from his last season with Cluj in Romania. And we'll also have my own assessment of him as a player and a potential player for Celtic. So, taking me a wee bit by surprise, came kind of out of left field yesterday evening, this morning, that Celtic had made a £6.9 million bid for Louis Munteanu, who is a young Romanian striker playing for Cluj in the Romanian Super League. A wee bit of a biography for Munteanu. He is currently 23 years old, 6 foot tall. He has one full Romanian cap, no goals so far. Interestingly, that international cap was October 2023, so almost 18 months to 2 years since he played full international level for Romania. However, he has played for Romania under 16, under 17, under 18, under 19, under 20, and under 21 level, with 57 games and 17 goals over those age group international levels for Romania. He's been at CFR Cluj in Romania for a season. He's just started his second season with Cluj. He's under contract with them until the end of June 2028. And so the Cluj have all the cards in their deck in that he's under contract with them for the best part of 3 years. Now, the transfer market valuation sites have him down as a £4.3 million player. As I said, Celtic are thought to have made a £6.9 million bid for him. However, that has been rejected by Cluj, and their president, who seems to be the person that calls all the shots at the club, has said that the asking price for him is £15.5 million, and he's not going to listen to anything less than £15.5 million. There are said to be a couple of Spanish clubs and a couple of French clubs in for him. It's thought that Lille and Nice have shown an interest, also Sevilla and Mallorca. And according to further news stories this morning, the president of Cluj says that there is only one team serious in bidding for him, and that's a French club. And so I do wonder whether there's some secret behind closed doors negotiations going on between Cluj and Lille or Nice. And it does look like a much more likely destination for Munteanu is to one of those two French clubs. As I was saying, he's been back at Cluj for basically a season. His stats for them over that period: 43 games, 26 goals, and 3 assists. His season rating last season for Cluj in the Romanian Super League, very impressive, 7.22 out of 10. And looking a wee bit more at his whole career, he transferred from Fiorentina in Italy to Cluj just over a season ago for £2 million. At Fiorentina, he only played at youth level, never played for their first team at youth level in Fiorentina in Italy. 40 games, 13 goals and 4 assists. Before that, he did play for another Romanian Super League team, FCV Farul Constanta, and for them he had 86 games, 25 goals, 11 assists, and putting all his various different teams and career together, 175 games, 68 goals, 18 assists. So it does look like in the last season or so he has considerably improved his finishing, and 26 goals in 43 games in any league is a good output. And as I say, last season it would have been 25 goals in 42 games, as he's played one game and scored one goal so far for Cluj in the 25-26 season. That's in a Europa League qualifier. Just a bit more depth regarding his ratings for various different things like scoring and shooting and passing, etc. From last season in the Romanian Super League, his goal conversion rate was 20%, which is okay rather than great. In essence, 1 in every 5 goal scoring chances he puts away. He has 3.3 shots per game, which is pretty decent. However, does have in 35 league games last season 16 big chances missed, which is a wee bit concerning. Scored no goals with his head last season in the Romanian Super League. 19 goals were right-footed, 4 were left-footed. And as we'll see from the highlights package, does tend to be quite a right-foot dominant player who can use his left foot. His passing stats are okay, rather than good or very good. 66% passing accuracy in total, 58% passing accuracy in the opponent's half, which is a wee bit concerning, and just down at 23% success rate, accuracy rate for his crosses. Again, a wee bit on the low side, and that 1 in 4 of his crosses actually hits the mark, and basically 1 in 2 of his passes in the opposition half hits the mark. Very poor defensive ratings for winning the ball back, winning the ball in the air, winning the ball on the ground, interceptions and blocking. So it does look like he isn't really the sort of player who puts pressure on defenders to win the ball back or slow down the opposition getting the ball out of their defence. Dribbling is okay at 42% success rate. We really would be wanting that to be over the 50%, bordering on 66%. And he loses possession rather a lot as well, 11.6 times per game. And so from those stats, he looks like he has good stats in some areas and slightly concerning stats in some other areas. So what we'll do now is we'll have a wee look at some highlight packages and stats taken from fuller version on another YouTube site. The attribution is embedded in the video. And also, there are several other highlight packages available through YouTube for you to look at as well if you want further details. After the 5 minutes or so of highlights, we'll add in my own thoughts of his skills and talents and abilities and whether I think he would fit in at Celtic. having watched the full version of that highlights package and the 2 or 3 other highlight packages on YouTube, what I think is that Munteanu is a good striker, has good striker's instincts, gets themselves in the box, pretty good finisher, makes good runs to get himself space in the box, also does seem to be able to hold the ball up, get in behind the defence, and also set up teammates to score coming in from midfield. Does seem a right foot predominant player, although is able to shoot and score and pass with his left foot. He's got reasonable passing skills, does seem to have limited aerial ability. As I say, pretty good at holding up the ball, reasonable pace for getting in behind the defence, and does seem a really pretty decent striker. And certainly last season in Romanian Super League, he was a big success for his club Cluj. Now, in terms of whether I think he would be a viable option for Celtic, I think given the fact that the transfer experts have him rated around about £4.5 million, Celtic appear to have bid something around the £7 million mark, and so it does look like Celtic have put in a very reasonable bid. For some reason or other, his club Cluj think he is about 3 times the player that transfer experts think he is, and I certainly don't see him as being a £15.5 million striker. I think had Celtic got him for around the £7 million mark, I think that would have been a perfectly reasonable figure. I think he has a combination of the different sorts of skills that would work out well with Celtic. At 6 foot tall and reasonable physique and strength, he does hold the ball up, similar to the way that Adam Ida can, but just surprising his lack of aerial ability from his stats and from his videos, but also does have pretty decent pace for getting in behind, much like Adam Ida does, and does seem to have some of the goal-mouth instincts that were so important for Kyogo, who was especially good at making late runs in the box to give himself space and scoring opportunities. I think there would be a need for him to improve his ability to close down defenders and close down in midfield and work more in pressurising the opposition. But at 23, I think he's got the ability to learn those additional skills. So I think if Celtic could get him for around about the £7 million mark, I think that would be perfectly reasonable, and I think he would probably slot in alongside Adam Ida, Shin Yamada, the Japanese international striker, who is expected to sign early next week, has different skills. Yamada can also at times play on the right wing, and so it may be there is room in the Celtic team for a combination of Ida, Munteanu, and Yamada. However, I think from the follow-up stories today, it does look more likely that Munteanu is going to be heading towards one of the French teams, as it does appear they are more willing to meet the very high demands of Cluj of around about £15.5 million. So do feel free to pop your own thoughts into the comment section, what you think of Munteanu as a player. Do you think he's worth 7 million? Do you think he's worth 15.5 million? Do you think he would be a good player for Celtic to sign to be our number one striker? And as we finish, just a polite suggestion inquiry. For those not yet subscribed to the channel, please do click that subscriber button. Keep the numbers pushing up through the 1300s. And feel free to click that like button. And as I say, do feel free to pop your own thoughts into the comment section regarding Munteanu as a player and a potential striker for Celtic. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.